Today is a historic day. It is a day on which the world was reminded that the power of the people is far greater than the people in power. It was a day on which one of the most powerful executive presidents in the world, with command over a two-thirds majority in parliament, was deposed by the people. The start of the people's struggle can be traced back to the time when the president made several impractical decisions on Sri Lanka's agriculture policy. Farmers were left helpless after the president banned all chemical fertilizer imports. Paddy fields went barren. Farmers on the fields took to the streets in July last year. The cost of living then began to affect every single person in the country. The rest of the country rallied around the farmers. The candlelight protest that began from Kohuala in March was also another milestone. Long queues for milk powder, long queues for cooking gas, long queues for fuel. The growing dissent among the people against the government exploded opposite the residence of Gotabaya Rajapaksa in Mirihana. The Aragalaya protest opposite the President's office in Galface began on the 9th of April. People from various walks of life with various opinions gathered at one location, which became the epicenter of the people's call for change. At the Aragalaya site, Sri Lankans were united in their call for accountability as they chanted "Gota Go Home" and established Gota Go Gama. Their struggle was gaining ground. The people's support overflowed. A generation that thinks anew had finally come out. Gota Go Gama branches were opened up across the island. People from as far as Gaul, Mathura, Kandy and Kurunegala supported the Aragalaya protest. The Maina Go Gama protest site was then opened opposite temple trees. The people's pressure grew. The cabinet resigned. Basil Rajapaksa and 4 other Rajapaksas who were in the cabinet lost their ministerial portfolios. After the Gota Go Gama protest site was attacked by government supporters on the 9th of May, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was forced to resign. The Aragalaya protest continued to bring about accountability among politicians whose actions had gone without the same for many long years. The final blow on the political establishment was dealt on the 9th of July. Ordinary citizens from all across the country gathered at the Aragalaya protest site and symbolically took control of the President's office, the President's house and temple trees. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who moved from his residence in Mirihana to the President's house in Fort, went into hiding on the 9th of July. There were reports that Gotabaya Rajapaksa then boarded a ship and was later travelling back and forth by air. Gotabaya Rajapaksa then attempted to leave the country via the Katunayake airport but was turned back due to public protests. In the end, Gotabaya Rajapaksa was flown out of the country on a military aircraft. He initially travelled to the Maldives and then boarded a plane from there and landed in Singapore last evening. The speaker today announced that he has received Gotabaya Rajapaksa's letter of resignation. Gotabaya Rajapaksa goes down in the history of Sri Lanka as the first executive president of Sri Lanka to vacate his seat before the end of his term in office.